Capricorn, welcome. Welcome back if you're returning. This is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot, and this is your weekly read. We are working with the Seer Tarot and the Linestrider Tarot for clarifying cards, and we'll be pulling an oracle card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck at the end. We're doing a little different this week. So I did a pre-shuffle, and I took the top cards so that we can save a little time going forward with our on-air shuffling. We're also recording audio only to go on our Spotify podcast for the week. For those of you that don't need the video, don't have time to watch video, but you'd like to get the audio while you're on the go, we are going to be doing that now as well. And what did I need to tell you? So, Sun, Moon, or rising sign of Capricorn, this will be a video for you. It is a general reading though, so it may not resonate for all of you. Hopefully you can find something of value and leave the rest, okay? I was doing a little work repotting some plants out in the garden before I did my readings today, and I was reflecting on what my plants need in order to grow and in order to thrive. And they need sunlight, and they need soil, and they need water, of course. Sometimes they need a little extra nutrients added in there. And very aware today that they need a big enough pot to grow in, right? They get really root bound if they're in a container that's too small, and they can't spread out their roots and really soak up the nutrients that they need. So when they go into a larger space and they can spread out, then they tend to thrive, they tend to flourish. And that's sort of the sense I get for all of us right now. Where have we outgrown our pot? Where are we being constricted by staying in a space that's too small for us? What do we need in order to thrive? So that's our general overarching question as we come into this week. And I'm looking at your cards in particular, Capricorn. We see the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles, and the Wheel in this deck called the Wheel. It's the Wheel of Fortune in other Smith Rider-Waite decks. What I'm sensing here is that you're being asked to fit into a conventional definition of what your life is supposed to be, and it doesn't work for you. It's lacking some really essential resource that is needed in order for you to thrive. And this could play out in many different ways, but the one that comes to mind is if you're living in, a quote-unquote traditional family structure, or if there's a religious definition around who you're allowed to be, it's not fitting for you. And it's not nurturing you, and it's not helping you to grow. So where are you being constricted by the ideas of past generations that have been passed down and blindly followed? Where is it in that situation that you're not getting what you need? You're not getting the support that you need. And it really feels like, it's just this traditional way of being isn't for you. It doesn't fit well for you, and you've done really well to try to fit yourself into the mold that others have created, tried to be, the good worker bee, tried to do, the social roles or the work roles that have been handed down, and you've been told that this is how things have to be, but it's not good for you. It's not supporting you. It's not nurturing your soul. And what I see here is that things are changing. So don't despair where you feel like I just don't belong. There is a change coming. Let's take some clarifying cards here and see if we can figure out any further guidance from Spirit about that change. The Wheel isn't something we control. The Wheel is things that shift and change over time. In life, some people call it fate. It's the things that happen in our lives that we react to and that we roll with, but we didn't actually orchestrate. We didn't make those things happen. We have coming out for clarifying cards, the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. There's a real sense here in the Four of Wands of celebration. It can sometimes be considered a marriage card. That's not how it's reading for me today. Today it feels more like a homecoming, a celebration of family and friends, reunion, coming together, reconnecting. And the Knight of Pentacles feels today a bit like, how do I say? That there's a sense that with patience and hard work, you're going to get there. You're going to come back together with the people and in like your community, your tribe is how I want to say it. So although you don't feel supported by the traditional structures, you know, that are present right now and putting demands on you to be something you're not, there is a shift coming, and you will find that space where you are reunited in a sense, even if these are people you've never met before, but you're rejoining a tribe. This is where your soul belongs. And it will be familiar to you because it feels much more right, and you can be you without having to reshape what feels natural to you just to fit in. So you can just be yourself, and that is perfect. And this tribe does exist, and with some patience you will find them, is what I'm sensing there. So that's sort of a nice message. Let's take one of these Sacred Destiny Oracle cards for you. Let's see which one you have. Simplicity. Simplicity, it's a blue sky with some clouds. There's a feather floating there. And let's see what Denise Lynn has to say. Opened right to it. To find a sacred simplicity and have clarity in your life, do only what matters. Release everything else. Simplify your life. Scan all areas and clear both internal and external clutter. Rest, rejuvenate, and only participate in what is truly important to you. Relinquish everything else. Do not delay. Do it now. When your life is cluttered with objects, relationships, time constraints, and emotions, there's no room for spirit. There is too much static and too much stuff to connect to your soul. The smallest amount of clutter clearing can make the biggest difference. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's amazing how much it works, but it does. If you just clean something, just clear out a drawer or a closet that has gotten too stuffed with a bunch of things that you just don't want to deal with, and they keep getting thrown in there behind the door or into the drawer that gets shut so that you don't need to look at them. It doesn't necessarily make sense to you that cleaning out a drawer could make things more clear for you with regard to your next step forward. But it is, in fact, true that if you can clear your clutter, your mind can think more clearly. And there are many different principles at work here. Part of that being feng shui, where there's this concept that each physical thing you own has a very fine thread of your energy attached to it and to you. And so the more stuff you own, the more weighed down you get. And if these things that you're tied to are, broken things that need to just be thrown away or repaired, or these are things you no longer use, but you don't want to throw them away and you haven't gotten around to donating them, it all can add up. And if you can clear that away, I think you'll start to feel a little bit more clear mentally as well. So I think that's what I have for you this week, Capricorn. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. All your likes, shares, and subscribes allow these messages to reach more folks who might find them useful. And since I do this because I love it and not as a job, I really do appreciate your support helping to get these messages out to more folks who can benefit from them. So thank you so much. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope I'll see you next week. Many, many blessings.